So to dumpster dive successfully, there's a few rules to follow, and one of them is you're quiet, and to have some kind of bags to put stuff in. Gloves are also good. So you just want to be quiet and you want to be quick. You want to go in, assess what's there, go through it, get the stuff, and leave. And if you hear someone coming, duck.
I want to live in a world without cardboard boxes, plastic straws, paper towels, and things you have to throw away each time you use them. Why have I accepted this as my life? Why have I accepted this as my life? This is a cozy nightmare where I can get whatever I want. Except the nightmare isn't what I see, it's the future that's awaiting me. I'm driven to believe our world is righteous and true. My other half is being bombed to death in a country I'll never go to.
I think that importing and exporting clothing at this point is a waste.
We live in this system. We think it's the way it's supposed to be and the way it has to be.
That's the part of the problem, is that we live in a system that produces massive amounts of waste. And countless other materials is thrown away. Making use of those things is super important, but changing the system that produces those things is even more important.
One, I've never wanted to look like anybody else. I don't like the idea of wearing the same thing that there's 20,000 of out there that were made in China. I've never liked that idea. My name's Lala West. I am an artist and a clothes maker, fashion designer, seamstress. My partner and I have a company called Dreamland Sideshow. A lot of the fabric that I use I get from thrift stores. I buy a lot of sheets if they're in good condition. I buy a lot of clothing and repurpose it and cut it up and use it for something else or just restructure it. About 3 years ago, my partner and I started to take it really seriously, and I just decided that this is what I wanted to do, make other people look different and beautiful and interesting. And I really do like the idea of taking something that's there and making something new out of it. It's already right there. Okay, that's kind of nice, the element of that, and the element of that's kind of nice. Oh, that's freaking amazing kind of thing, This is one of my favorite pieces. These are chaps. So there's like the back of it, and then the belt comes around the front, and again, it's all just scrappy work, but yeah, see, you can see it's all just scrap work. With the amount of clothing that's already in the clothing stream, not even, let's say we'd completely cut off new, just the clothing that we have in America in terms of what's in people's closets and what they've stored and what they could put back into the stream and what's already here. Geez, for probably 15 years we could all wear all of what's here until it's ragged and we have to produce more.
I don't feel like there was ever a conscious decision. It was just like little decisions that add up. We did things that we felt good about or liked to do. So it started off with growing a small garden and And then it turned into our whole yard.
Yeah, it started out with a little patch, and then we just kept getting more and more help, and then eventually we just turned the whole thing into a garden.
I think the more we were being surrounded by people with more conscious views and different ideas, then people were moving in that were on the same page and were looking for that same kind of ideal as well. So we finally have a balance of, it just works out like a big family and everyone pitches in on everything, so.
Yeah, we all clean together, clean up after ourselves, we
Cook
pitch in on
together.
food.
Yep.
Yeah, cook together. Just everything's based around the whole house rather than having our own separate food and things like that.
Just being able to self-sustain yourself and not have to rely on consuming things, I think.
Which we do rely
Yeah, we
on.
do.
We consume.
Yeah,
and
but just to
that's-
be, I think that idea started to be like self-sustainable, I think.
The more things that we can produce, the better.
Like, we don't throw anything away. I feel like it's super complicated to throw anything away in this house because it has so many different places that it goes.
These wooden planter boxes are salvaged from an orchard in Willard. These little wire cages for the tomatoes were salvaged by this guy, Farmer John, who lives out of his truck and just brings dumpstered food around to the neighborhood chickens. So this cistern, it catches all the rainwater runoff from our house, and then we use it to water the garden. Our gate back here is made out of trestle wood from the Great Salt Lake. The chicken coop, the siding on the outside is trestle wood, and our fence in front is just throwaway railroad ties and trestle wood. I mean, anyone could dumpster dive. Some people are opposed to that, and that's not like that. Dumpster diving isn't sustainable. It isn't something that you'll be doing in 50 or 100 years. I mean, society isn't going to produce all this waste that people can get for free forever. It has to stop sometime. So it's something that's good to do now. It's a form of recycling, basically.
I started being interested in freeganism quite a few years ago. Freeganism is really a lifestyle, and you can be as limited or expansive with that as you want. You can use that in all areas of your life. It does require some creativity. The idea of spending in a overspending society, the idea of adding to spending, it just perpetuates this. Stores over order to keep their shelves full. We have a culture that overconsumes, and there's so much waste, and yet there's so many people that go without. One of the things I have done this year also is put in my own garden. It's small, but that's another step to being, it's all about being as self-sufficient as you possibly can. Last year, I lived for about 8 months on $3, and I just was able to continue to find ways to bring things into my life that didn't require money. And I saw a show on television where a woman in New York was actually completely living this way. She was getting everything that she needed, toiletries, everything, from the streets of New York. And I became really curious and started investigating here and found some really juicy spots. Anytime you reuse anything, you're basically stopping from purchasing something to replace that. I do recycle because the alternative is throwing it in the garbage can. Now we're taking energy to melt a yogurt container down so it can be reborn into another yogurt container, which to me is ridiculous. You're still consuming. Upcycling is not putting it in the recycling bin at all. It's taking it and repurposing it and finding a use for it that it's not going in the trash, it's not going in the landfill, it's not going in the recycling bin. And typically if somebody has never dumpster dived and they don't understand what it's about, I ask them to ride along. I have taken many people and shown them firsthand, and some of them continue to do it, some of them never do it again, but every single one of them has their eyes opened and they are blown away.
Here, but
There we go. Okay. Shine your light in there. Yeah, shine the light in. And then usually if it's in bags, it's trash.
Sometimes when we found this is how we found, oh, there's some baguettes.
Oh, wow.
You want to grab them?
Go for it, buddy.
Cool. Okay, can you?
Will you turn your head down so you get a good shot of that?
Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Another watermelon. It's too bad. There's nothing. Is it a whole? I've seen furniture, there's places for clothing items that are thrown away. Sometimes they're slashed. You could have to repair them because the people that throw them away want to make sure that whoever is getting the thrown away items can't use them, so they cut them up.
Compression shorts. Here, let me hop in.
Well, it's a singlet.
It's a white. It's a bike.
Oh, is it?
Throw that up, yeah.
Sweetheart, will that fit you? Russ, will those?
Oh my god.
Oh, look.
Oh my god, look. Under the bag.
Yeah.
Oh
my god.
You got some vibrams.
What time? What
Easy
size?
to fix.
Does it even have cuts in them?
yeah.
See if there's not any blade.
Yeah. What the hell?
Oh, there's another bag.
What is that?
Trigger. Inflating? Mallory?
What?
Self-inflating sleep pad.
Oh, they cut it.
Bummer.
They've cut it.
Is that what this is?
Disgusting.
Here, give it to me. We'll see if we can do anything with it. Worst comes to worst, it's gonna go right
Oh, sorry, I forgot I had
Wow, look at that
Chair.
You could fix that.
Yeah,
You
easy.
could fix that.
No, I don't think so.
That's a big chair
That's
too.
too
I
bad.
get to hike with that.
More shoes.
There's more vibrams.
Another camp bed.
Wait, hold on.
So this is what we got tonight on our dumpster dive. And kind of the most, there was not a lot of food tonight. Tuesday tends to be sometimes a low night, but we did get a fantastic organic watermelon that's perfect. We got like 4 loaves of bread. The vegetable dumpster that it was been sitting in the sun all day, it was rotten, so we couldn't really get anything from that one. The kind of disheartening thing is this is all thrown away at a sporting goods store, and they make sure that they slash them so that whoever decides to take them out of the dumpster can't use them or has to go to extensive repairs to fix them. And there's nothing wrong with any of this stuff except for what they've done to it, which is really pretty sad that they're basically saying it's our garbage and no one else can use it. These pants have been slit. There's brand new pants, nothing wrong with them. This is a biking outfit. It's been sliced down the back. A bedroll, it's been sliced all the way around. I mean, and this is clearly just so that anyone that pulls it out the dumpster can't use it. So basically, they're just making it, they're turning good stuff into garbage. You know, most of it is now just trash, which is really sad because it's all very high quality stuff.
It's amazing how people just don't think that way, because as a society we are conditioned to, oh, it's broken, that means I get something new.
I want to live in a world without cardboard boxes, plastic straws, paper towels, and things you have to throw away each time you use them. Why have I accepted this as my life? Why have I accepted this as
I think the more that people see this kind of fashion or this kind of reusing, the more wise we'll all become and the more it will be used. Just put a new zipper in and then I can wear it again. I don't have to go buy it again. It's amazing how people just don't think that way, because as a society we are conditioned to, oh, it's broken, that means I get something new. I really love this and you can make it so I can wear it again. Teaching them would be a huge piece. I just think a lot of people in this country are ignorant to such things.
I take my own bags to the grocery store
Use your old jars, your salsa jars for lunches.
and tried to buy things with the least amount of packaging.
Because there's so much out there to use. There's so much out there to use that there's no point in buying new if you don't have to.
Opening something and realizing that it held something at one point and it can hold something again rather than just throwing it away.
I think a lot of it is in terms of just teaching people. Knowledge is key to freedom, right? For everything.
the future that's awaiting me? I'm driven to believe our world